It is now 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Hingham Select Board. I'll begin by reading the following announcement. This meeting is being held remotely as an alternate means of public access pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, temporarily amending certain provisions of the open meeting law. You are hereby advised that this meeting and all communications during this meeting may be recorded by the town of Hingham in accordance with the open meeting law. If any participant wishes to record this meeting, please notify the chair at the start of the meeting in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, so that the chair may inform all other participants of said recording. Is there anyone else recording other than Harbor Media? Seeing none, and I will note for the record that participating for the select board this evening are Bill Ramsey, Liz Klein, and myself, Joe Fisher. First item on the agenda for this evening is to consider approval of the minutes of July 13th, 2021. Prepared. Are Bill and Liz, are you prepared to move forward?
I'm ready.
I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes dated July 13th, 2021.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Liz Klein.
Aye.
Bill Ramsey.
Aye.
Joe Fisher. Aye. They are approved. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is to consider approval of the issuance of a special one-day all alcoholic beverages license to Timothy McDonald on behalf of Father Bill's and Mainspring for the Father Bill's and Mainspring donor reception to be held at Hingham Shipyard on July 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. Is Timothy McDonald here?
I am here.
Oh, great. So if you could just walk us through the good work you're doing here.
Yeah, first off, let me just say thank you guys so much for having me and for considering this. We're especially excited to be able to invite everyone back to the Hingham Shipyard. We know Hingham has always been a great partner for us for the last few years that we've held our Food Fest event at the Beer Works in the Hingham Shipyard every year. And we were sad that we had to cancel that the past 2 years. So this year we were hoping to do smaller events under a small tent behind the old Hingham Beer Works building, where we'll be inviting about 65 to 75 of our supporters to come gather under the tent for a few hours, taste a little bit of the food from local restaurants like Almanove, Trident, and Boathouse Bistro, and just kind of gather to thank them for their past support over the past year and a half during the pandemic. So we are hoping to be able to offer a bar at the event where people just could come sit back, relax, and just celebrate everything that we've been able to accomplish the past 2 years.
Thank you. And as I understand it, there is not a rain date for this event. Is that correct?
No, not at the moment, yes.
You described the tent as rather small, but I think it's a 200-person tent.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, sorry.
It's going to be a good size. So hopefully attendance is in accordance with your expectations, and we really appreciate your work. Liz Klein, any questions or comments?
No real questions. I guess just a clarification. I think is Boathouse Bistro is running the bar. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Okay.
And you'll be using the restrooms in the Beer Works building.
In the Hingham Beer Works, yeah. We've been coordinating with the property owner there, and they've allowed us to have that restroom be open.
Okay, great. No further questions. Thank you.
Bill.
I looked at the application. I have no questions. Thank you.
Great. I see we've got Dave Jones on the line. Has this been reviewed by Hingham Police Department? Are you comfortable with moving forward with this?
Good evening, Joe. Yes, the police department has no issues with it. I have reviewed the application.
Great. Any members of the public have comments or question on the special one-day permit here? Hearing and seeing none, I will accept the motion on this.
I'll make a motion to approve the issuance of a special one-day all alcoholic beverages license to Timothy McDonald on behalf of Father Bill's in Mainspring for the Father Bill's in Mainspring donor reception to be held at Hingham Shipyard on Tuesday, July 27th, 2021 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Second.
Moved and second. Any further discussion? If not, we vote. Bill Ramsey,
Aye.
Liz Klein,
Aye.
Joe Fisher, aye. The license is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Next item on our agenda is to consider approval of the issuance of 3 separate special one-day wine and malt beverages licenses to Michael Snowdale on behalf of Stellwagen Beer Company for a sunset picnics at Ware River Farm to be held on August 12th, August 19th, and August 26, 2021 from 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Do we have, is Michael on the call?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
We're missing your
Are you able to?
picture, though. Could you walk us through this, please?
Yeah, for sure. So this is part of Weir River's picnic series that they've been doing throughout the summer on Thursday evenings. We actually were part of the month of June series. We did 2 dates, and they had to have a brewery bow out for August, so they asked us to come in for these 3 dates. And it's a pretty great event. We roll up with our beer trailer, set up a little 10 by 10 pop up, and sell beer to their ticketed guests who are there for food trucks and music and enjoying the views up on the hill.
That's great. I'll start now with Chief Jones. Have you reviewed this application?
I have, and it's similar to the last one that they had. They did participate, like the applicant said, in June, and there were no issues at all up there with them in June.
No traffic issues. Everything was smooth.
Everything ran smoothly for all the events they've had. Yes.
Great, thank you. Liz Klein, questions or comments?
No real questions. I've only heard positive feedback about the sunset picnics, and I think they've been selling out each week. So it's great. Thank you so much.
Yes. Bill Ramsey.
The only comment I have is every time we talk about these and we approve these, it reminds me I need to attend one of them because they sound great. And like Liz, I've heard great things about the food, and obviously they have some great local craft breweries there as well. So I think this is great.
Yes. Any members of the public have comments or questions? If not, I will accept the motion on this.
Make a motion to approve the issuance of 3 separate special one-day wine and malt beverages licenses to Michael Snowdale on behalf of Stellwagen Beer Company for sunset picnics at Weir River Farm to be held on Thursday, August 12th, 19th, and 26th, 2021 from 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, we vote. Liz Klein.
Aye.
Bill Ramsey.
Aye.
Joe Fisher. Aye. It is approved. Thank you. Thank you for doing this, Michael.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is to proclaim Saturday, August 7, 2021 as Hingham Farmers Market Day. And we do have Mark Collins here, although I don't, there you go. Great. Good to see you, Mark.
I thought there was more going on. I was just making myself a late cup of coffee. Good evening, everybody. How are you?
So if you could just introduce yourself for the record, your name and address, and your involvement with the farmers market.
Yes, I'm Mark Cullings, 44 Spring Street. I'm the president of the board of directors of the Hingham Farmers Market. And we are anxious to participate in the National Farmers Market Week that takes place this year from August 1 to August 7. Our session during the National Week is the last day, August 7th. The town has been gracious enough to grant proclamations in several previous years. 2020 was an exception, and we're back happily and in a very robust environment at the Station Street location for the farmers market. It would be lovely if the town would again make such a proclamation, and perhaps one of you would be good enough to, assuming that you will do this, will come down and read it to the public.
So Mark, if you could just make a little sales pitch, what are the hours of the farmers market so everyone knows?
Yes, the farmers market, the Hingham Farmers Market operates on Saturdays from May until November. It is open from 9 to 1. It's a very convenient location in the Station Street parking lot at the corner of Water and Station Street with fine parking and access. I'm hopeful that Chief Jones may chip in here with some information or feedback about the situation. We've had detail officers in the parking lot for many of the weeks that we've been operating, and we've been very pleased both with the professionalism of the officers, but also with their help. So yeah, the market is currently operating under license with the town. We're allowed to have a maximum of 34 vendor booths, and we're at near capacity now. The new footprint that was approved this past April by the planning board and the ZBA has turned out to be more than we could have possibly imagined as being an attractive and pleasant place to be for a farmer's market. It's not quite this on the subject, but as I've mentioned to a couple of you, we would like to make it our home. It was the traditional home of the farmer's market, officially not incorporated, but registered with the Commonwealth in 1977. But we have, I have a poster on the wall of a farmer's market that it was at Station Street much earlier than 1977. So in a sense, we're suggesting that we return to our roots. As you know, the market moved to the bathing beach in 2006 at the beginning of the Greenbush project. And we had a very successful run there. Returning last year under COVID restrictions to Station Street has turned out to be, again, more than we expected. And both patrons and vendors like the spot, and it's something that we would like to see for future seasons.
So as you know, the future of the farmers market is not on the agenda for this evening. It's really honoring and recognizing your current accomplishments. If you could just say a word about, the vendors and what this means to them. I mean, just, my personal experience is the interaction with residents and quite frankly, non-residents and the vendors is superb. People just appreciate, the give and take, the quality of the produce. But it'd be nice to hear how this is going with the vendors.
Yes. At the beginning of the COVID crisis, first of all, farmers markets are not just a community festival. They are, as the governor stated at the beginning of the COVID crisis, they are essential services. And we provide, and it was most dramatically pointed out at the beginning of the COVID crisis when there were concerns about the food chain, the national food chain. We are supporting agricultural endeavors, farms in Massachusetts that are literally a couple of hours driving distance from the market, and they're bringing their produce every week, and it is it's just it's terrific. Our the market is robust. The customers understand the value that they are getting from these local producers, protein vendors, beef producers, poultry producers, seafood, 5 produce vendors from around the state. And it's an important source of food for the community and the region. We also know that the Hingham market in particular, this is not true of all farmers markets, and I'm a fan of any farmers market anywhere, but what is true of the Hingham farmers market is that the customers they show up every week. And in some cases, I was told this last week by the owner of one farm that Hingham is their lifeline. And he used that term not lightly. And I've heard it before, that the amount of business that these farms do at our market in some cases is enough to cover their debt load so that other markets that they go to can provide some margin and allow them to continue to operate. So what we know is that the small businesses that we support, not all of them are farms, but we do support a lot of small food producers, a baker that some of you may know who comes from a neighboring town who has just hit the ball out of the park with his products, Aleco Bakery, and we couldn't be happier to be a part of the capitalistic system where somebody brings a product to market and throws it out standing naked before the public, and if they like it, there's a business. And we've seen that. Now I've been involved in this, I guess, for about 15 years, and we've seen it over and over and over. It's very gratifying.
Great. Chief Jones, do you have anything you wanted to add with respect to how the farmers market's going?
Oh, Mark, thanks for your kind words about the officers that have been down there. We haven't had any issues at all with the farmers market. They've been very open to suggestions on traffic flow and parking down there, and they've been great partners to work with. So we don't have any issues at all with their current setup, and wish them well on the proclamation.
Great.
Thank you, Chief. And just again, I want to just a shout out for the people who've helped us. They've just been above and beyond. So thank you.
Bill Ramsey, any
just a comment. I think the farmers market is a wonderful part of our community, and I certainly attribute the success of it to your leadership, Mark. And you just said you've been at it for 15 years, but you go above and beyond. You do a lot in the community in a lot of different areas, but you certainly do a tremendous amount of work for the market, and you're a great advocate for it. And during COVID last year, I remember having discussions with you and trying to figure out, where's it going to go, what's going to happen, and it all worked out, and it's because of you. So thank you for all you do to make this work, Mark.
You're very generous, Bill, but it is a team effort. We wouldn't be able to be standing here or sitting here without the help of a lot of people. Thank you.
Liz Klein.
No questions, just echo Bill's comments. We're certainly grateful that we have the farmers market in Hingham every week, and certainly grateful for your leadership, Mark.
Thank you, Liz.
Great. Are there any members of the public who have comments on this? If not, we can do a vote, and then we can move to actually reading the declaration. So I will accept a motion on the Hingham Farmers Market Day.
I will make a motion to proclaim Saturday, August 7th, 2021 as Hingham Farmers Market Day.
Second.
Any further discussion? We now vote. Liz Klein.
Aye.
Bill Ramsey.
Aye.
Joe Fisher. Aye. And now we will move directly to the proclamation. It is fortunately not as lengthy as some of our others, but I'm still like to break up the reading. I'm going to start with Liz.
Okay. Whereas His Excellency Governor Charles D. Baker of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has proclaimed August 1st through 7th, 2021 to be Massachusetts Farmers Market Week. And whereas farmers markets are essential to the vitality of Massachusetts farms and are part of the cultural tradition of the Commonwealth.
And Bill?
And whereas the Commonwealth is home to 208 summer, fall farmers markets, which create a festive open air setting and enhance community spirit and civic pride by offering a natural place for community gathering. And whereas farmers markets help heighten public awareness of the agricultural diversity of Massachusetts and the benefits of buying local and preserving open space.
And whereas it is befitting for the residents of Hingham to recognize the continued contribution of farmers markets to local consumers, as well as their positive impact on the economy of the Commonwealth. And whereas Hingham's tradition of its farmers market, now in its 44th season, makes it the third oldest in the Commonwealth. Now, therefore, we, Joseph M. Fisher, William C. Ramsey, and Elizabeth F. Klein, Select Board of Hingham, do hereby proclaim August 7, 2021 to be Hingham Farmers Market Day and urge all residents to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance. Dated this 20th day of July, 2021, Joseph M. Fisher, William C. Ramsey, and Elizabeth F. Klein. Mark, congratulations and thank you for all your work.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mark.
Good night.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we will be taking comments from the public on items not on the agenda. Are there any members of the public who have comments they would like to make at this time? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move to the Town Administrator Select Board reports. Michelle, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Joe. Just a quick COVID update this evening. So there were 8 new reported cases of COVID-19 in Hingham thus far in July, but there have still been no Delta variant cases reported here so far. And we still have 68% of Hingham residents who are fully vaccinated as of last week. That's it for tonight.
Great. How are we doing with all the rain? Hingham surviving?
We're hanging in there.
Great.
I see a lot of mushrooms sprouting around town.
I've told the Conservation Commission that nearly the entire town is now within their jurisdiction. A lot of wetlands. Liz Klein, any report for this evening?
Not too much to report. I did attend the Hingham Unity Council webinar last night on affordable housing, which was excellent. I know they recorded it, so encourage anyone that missed it to take a listen. And also the Hingham Housing Authority has a new website, which was brought up last night. So that's being rolled out currently.
Great, thank you,
That's it.
Liz. Bill.
I have nothing to report this week. Thank you.
So I have something to report, which is Hingham's Little League 12-year-old All-Stars won the District 8 championship for the first time in many years. We've really had a great run in the district tournament, winning all 6 games they played. The Hingham Little League won all their games by a combined score of 59-5. It's amazing. In the opening round, they beat Situate twice, then Hanover, then Milton. In the semifinals, it was an 8-0 victory over Norwell. And in the finals, they took a 4-1 win over Hanover to win the District 8 title. And they are hoping that all this leads to a Little League World Series victory in August. Congratulations to head coach Chris Taylor and the other coaches and, of course, the players. And finally, just to report that the school committee has been busy working towards selecting and hiring an interim superintendent to replace Paul Austin. The process is ongoing and the school committee has been very diligent in its work. I've got nothing else to report. Michelle, anything else you think we need to cover?
I don't believe so. Thank you.
Then I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been seconded, moved and seconded. We now vote. Liz Klein,
Aye.
Bill Ramsey,
Aye.
Joe Fisher. Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you all. Good to see you.